Good evening. You are tuning into AWANI Tonight with me, Soraya Mia. Teenagers can walk in for vaccinations Thursday. And TikTok new platform for education. That's coming up. Malaysia reached 80% fully vaccinated rate for its adult population. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob congratulated Malaysians on reaching the goal. But he urged the people to continue the fight against COVID-19. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said that Malaysia hit its target of 80% at 1 p.m. today, adding that it could continue efforts to ensure the remaining 20% adult population are inoculated. Teenagers aged 12 to 17 years old will be able to walk into any 156 PPV centres to get their COVID-19 vaccine starting Thursday. According to Health Ministry, the appointments will be decided by schools, which will then inform parents of the date and time. Deputy Health Minister Dr. Nur Azmi Ghazali said the vaccination program for adolescents involves all teenagers, including those not in school. They just need to walk in to their PPV near the homes. He said higher education students aged 18 and above can also walk in and show their student cards, but must be accompanied by one parent or guardian for consent. Genting Highlands, Malacca and Tioman Island will join Malaysia's travel bubble and is set to reopen to visitors beginning October. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Seri Nancy Shukri announced today the 3 locations will receive their approval for reopening tomorrow, after which she will table the matter in Parliament.
The government targets the reopening of these destinations by October 1st, but a period of 2 weeks will be given to tour operators to make thorough preparations, especially involving the SOPs. She added that the decision was made following the success of the Langkawi travel bubble, which was selected as a pilot project to be reopened to tourists since September 16th. She also said more locations would be added soon. Meanwhile, Senior Defence Minister Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Hussein said petrol stations, eateries and convenience stores will soon be allowed to operate from 6 a.m. to midnight. This will apply to all states regardless of which phase under the National Recovery Plan they are in. The exception would only be for localities placed under an enhanced movement control order. Hishamuddin said the proposal will be tabled to the Special Committee on Pandemic Management chaired by the Prime Minister.
Malaysia has given its commitment to completing the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP ratification process by mid-December this year. International Trade and Development Senior Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali said the process is pursuant to the agreement signed by 10 ASEAN member states and 5 free trade agreement partners at the 4th RCEP summit in November last year. The senior minister said the agreement will come into force 60 days after at least 6 ASEAN member states and 3 ASEAN FTA partners submitted the instruments of ratification to the ASEAN Secretariat. He added that any delay in ratification would be a missed opportunity for Malaysia to enjoy the benefits and preferential treatment as contained in the agreement. Among them are tariff reduction on exports of goods, market access for trade and services, movement of skilled professionals, as well as increasing investment activities among the RCEP member countries. RCEP is the world's largest FTA with a market that covers almost 1/3 of the world's population. The government has decided to go ahead with the implementation of Undi 18 and automatic voter registration by December 31st this year, as ordered by the Kuching High Court. De facto Law Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi said the Cabinet will not appeal the High Court decision and will try its best to fulfill the 2 court orders.
Tetapi Hakim telah mengarahkan kepada mesti disiapkan pada 31 Disember 2021. Dan saya telah berbincang dengan pihak SPR, kita sekarang ini patuh kepada arahan mahkamah. Itu saja. Dan lagi yang berhormat, saya memaklumkan bahawa pada Jemaah Menteri 10 hari bulan, kita telah memutuskan yang kita tidak membuat rayuan kepada keputusan Hakim.
On September 3rd, the Kuching High Court via a judicial review ordered the federal government to lower the voting age to 18 years of age by December 31st this year. According to the ruling, automatic voter registration system will also be done at the same time. Wan Junaidi assured there is no need for constitutional amendment to implement both at the same time and that the government will try their best to abide by the court decision. The Malacca government has offered 5 new propositions to the state's opposition lawmakers in a bid to transform the state. Chief Minister Datuk Sri Sulaiman Mat Ali said it was the right time for lawmakers from both the political divide to put aside their differences and look into assisting those impacted by the pandemic.
Among the initiatives offered include raising the annual emoluments of service centres for each state constituencies, including the opposition from 42,000 ringgit to 60,000 ringgit. Sulaiman also invited opposition lawmakers to be part of the State COVID-19 Management and Rehabilitation Council, as well as the State's Economic Development Council. He also proposed that the District Development Action Committee to not only involve government assemblymen but also the opposition. Malacca has 28 constituencies, with 17 assemblymen part of the ruling state government. Sulaiman also announced that the state would be entering the third phase of the National Recovery Plan by mid-October.
We will take a quick break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. How the younger generation consume information is no longer the same as before. Simplified and easy to digest content on social media platforms like TikTok is becoming an increasingly effective tool to educate. We speak to TikTok's Southeast Asia music marketing lead, Xiaomei Chia, who says that in order to connect with the tech-savvy audience, you must first learn to speak their language.
The situation has already changed, and in order to tap into and to have like common interest with this generation people, I guess one of the way is to speak their language. Yes, so that's why I guess like this is why not only like educators but a lot of like entrepreneurs, as you can see out there, they also start to use the platform so that they can tap into the younger generation, younger audience crowd, and to create a positive perception, not only for themselves or perhaps for their brand itself as well.
TikTok is now moving into education. Late last year, the social media giant announced the initiative Learn on TikTok in recognition of a huge demand for educational content on the platform.
Especially during the temporary shutdown period last year, right? A lot of the education centers and even like schools actually closed down. So we see there is a shift of like educators, they start using TikTok. And what they do is they actually break down those informations where we used to study in schools. They break down those information into 15 seconds up to 3 minutes video. And they make it more easy for the viewers to understand.
According to Xiaomei, TikTok's algorithm boosts videos with high consumption and are easily shareable, which in turn encourages more creators to produce informational videos.
For example, like language teaching, but we also have like life hacks, financial tip sharing, or maybe like even health. And we also onboarded a lot of like dentists, especially, to share how to take care of your teeth, all this kind of like information where it actually gains up a lot of like user consumption, and also help these creators to gain a lot of views and increase their followers in a very short time as well. So I guess the creators, they actually see the spikes here. That's why it boosts up kind of their confidence so that they will continue, the momentum to start building content on the platforms.
She added that TikTok Malaysia aims to work with the Education Ministry to roll out more engaging and fun educational content on its platform. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had narrowly won a third term in Canada's snap election, but failed of securing a majority in Parliament. This means his Liberal Party will once more have to be dependent on the opposition to form government.
In power since 2015, Trudeau called for an election 2 years early in hopes to capitalise on his government's handling of the pandemic, which included massive spending to support individuals and businesses. This is his third win in a general election, But the critics say the election was a waste of time and unnecessary during a pandemic.
I hear you when you say that you just want to get back to the things you love, not worry about this pandemic or about an election. That you just want to know that your members of Parliament of all stripes will have your back through this crisis and beyond.
The election was the most expensive in Canada's history, costing some $470 million. The projected results suggest a parliament that is similar to the one elected just 2 years ago in 2019.
Thousands of demonstrators marched in the streets of Melbourne to protest against a COVID mandate requiring all construction workers to get vaccinated. Riot police used pepper spray and rubber ball grenades to disperse the crowd when it turned violent. Melbourne has been in strict lockdown for 7 weeks as the city struggles to curb a Delta outbreak. Several clusters have been linked to construction sites where COVID-19 containment measures are said to be lax. In response, authorities introduced tougher restrictions, announced mandatory vaccination for laborers, and most recently, closing almost all construction sites for 2 weeks. Myanmar's junta has put Aung San Suu Kyi on trial for incitement, the latest in a series of charges that could see her jailed for decades. The 76-year-old has been under house arrest since February when the junta forced her and her National League for Democracy party out of power.
Her lawyer, Kin Maung Zhao, said she pleaded not guilty to charges of incitement, adding that she seemed to be in good health. Each charge carries a maximum of 3 years in prison. Suu Kyi has been charged with violating a secrecy law, and next month she will face a new trial on corruption charges.
The new US, UK, and Australia defense partnership is causing concern over rising tensions in our region. Tonight on Consider This, we ask analysts about the diplomatic challenges for Malaysia and ASEAN from superpower rivalry. That is all we have for you on AWANI tonight. Get the latest news updates on COVID-19 and COVID-19 vaccines from astroawani.com and Astro Awani app. I'm Soraya Mia. We'll see you again.